And we're live. I actually feel like to doing like the ones in drills the whole time. And we're alive. So today we actually have, I love the topic, and I think we all experiencing it constantly, maybe even more now. So I would let you introduce the topic, and then it's an open discussion around this. So you guys more than welcome to put it in the comments, your feelings, your thoughts, what helping you. That's what we're here for. It doesn't matter if you watch it live or after. Wait, I'm coloring. Sorry.
Yeah, so so what we're talking about is understanding triggers. So what a trigger is you're in a normal frame of mind and then suddenly you get triggered. Like so your emotion gets heightened because of what somebody's done or what someone said, and you feel it in your body. So you can feel it in your stomach, in your heart, and you just get this heightened feeling. And very often, it's not about what that person said. It's not even about that person, but it's actually about feelings of maybe you've been betrayed before, maybe you're feeling insecure. So it's something that's happened in your past, which that person has then triggered in you, which now causes a reaction. And I think where this is very relevant is maybe you're having a conversation and maybe you, I don't know, rearrange your house. And maybe your husband comes home and you're wanting him to go, whoa, it looks amazing. And he doesn't. And it's like, well, so do you like it or do you not like it? Like, and then you kind of get all short about it, but that's got nothing to do with that particular situation. It's to do with the fact that you want to be acknowledged. So where did that actually stem from? Where did it start? So where are you with all of this? How does this resonate with you? What's your thoughts?
So I know that a lot of time when and I think it took me a while, and only like recently with all like being at home and all the self awareness process you do, you're starting to realize that wait, why am I getting angry? Why am I getting that upset? Why is this person is actually annoying me? Like I cannot stand that person. And then you realize that wait, that person is triggering something from my past for something else that happened, or it sits on like certain insecurities that I have. So I'm always trying to understand why am I getting upset? What is it triggering? So I either write it down in a notebook, or I'll chat with a friend and I'll understand, okay, why? Because I realize that whenever I get upset, I don't get upset actually at the other person. I'm upset with myself because it nags me on something that I haven't done or I missed out.
Yeah. And I think that the key with this is just to, when you feel that suddenly out of nowhere, you're feeling a certain emotion, is to pause and then to be thinking about like where did this stem from? Maybe as a child you were told, or maybe your teacher said that you were not good at reading, or you were stupid, or you were not very switched on, or you were lazy. So, like, where is it coming from? And then to be curious. So, I think there's such power in always stepping back in these things, because once you do or say something, you can't, yes, you can say sorry, of course you can, but you can't take it back. And very often it can be quite hurtful to the other person, and it's not necessary to do that. So to figure out what that is very powerful. So I wouldn't mind just sharing some tips on how to manage that. So I think
That
what
would
you
be
said is very
perfect because I
simple.
think a lot of us, and I'm sorry I interrupt you, but I think that's it. A lot of us are experiencing it, but we're not aware that that's what's happening. So, how can you actually notice and understand, okay, I am triggered, and how do I do that drill down to understand where is it coming from?
So the first one is to acknowledge that you are feeling a certain way. That's a big thing, because very often people aren't comfortable with feeling angry, sad, or mad. So that's the first thing. The second thing is to give yourself space. So this morning I went running, and I was in Newlands Forest, And I was there, I was going along, and then the path, and so I went on an area which I probably shouldn't have gone on, but anyway I did. And then there was a lot of rocks, and I could feel myself getting irritable, and I was like, what are you actually getting irritated about? Like, where is this kind of stemming from? So acknowledge the feeling, give yourself a bit of space so that you're not reactive about it, and then to be open-minded and not judge yourself. Because I think not only do we judge other people all the time, but we judge ourselves all the time, and we make ourselves wrong.
We are our biggest enemies. And you know what? The thing is that, like, I have the dog, so I'm noticing when I'm triggered, I'm actually getting him to be triggered as well. Because the other day I was walking with him, and I was so angry because of different things that triggered me that morning. But I was so angry that he was starting to bark and all the dogs around. And I was like, okay, you never bark that much. So it's clearly you're getting the energy from me. So I was realizing, why does it nag me? Why do I need to? And really help me to open my eyes and start working on it.
And if it's in a situation where it's with somebody else, there is a lot of value in finding the words to communicate. And I know a lot of people battle with communication, so I'm not saying it's easy, but there's such power in being able to say to somebody, look, the way I reacted just now, it's really not you, it really is me. I got triggered because of blah, 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 whatever the case is. So communication is key, and something that I'm really bad with, but I was good, but I'm now totally off the wagon completely. I'll hopefully one day get back, is meditation. And the reason meditation is because of the mindfulness. So when you are mindful, you are able to manage yourself better long term.
And I'm fully with you. Like, I'm struggling with the meditation. I do the yoga every day. And in the end, when she says, like, we do the Savasana and like we're trying to get into the relaxation part, I'm struggling sometimes because my mind is drifting, but I do know it does help and you need to. But it's funny thing because when I do shamanic journeys, I am able to concentrate more. So I think you need to find different ways to do it. Maybe you need to do those guidance ones that they tell you a story and then you walk following this. So everyone needs to find theirs. But I do agree on the previous on that communication. Because a lot of the time we're getting angry at someone, but we're not actually angry at them. It's because they trigger something. So if you know to, as you said, for the first one, to acknowledge it, put some time out and say, wait, give me some time, and then communicate it. That, listen, it's not you, but what happened, the situation triggered that in me, and that's why I reacted like this. So, and speak about it. And the other side will understand you way better. Because eventually, for all of us, there's something that is triggering us, and it touched something that it's so sensitive that we actually never even realize that it's so sensitive until someone actually put it in our face.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that I get to do with my clients is they have self-reflections and self-observation exercises that they do in between the sessions. And the purpose of that is for them to write down various triggers. And there is such power in the writing of it, because you look back and you realize all the things that have happened had nothing to do with those people, because the triggers were all along the same theme, which is all about your self-worth or your self-love or your self-confidence. So whether it was the bus driver or the whomever, it's irrelevant. It's completely irrelevant. And I think that there's a power in that, because then you can work on that specific thing. So what do you need to do to become more self-confident, to believe in yourself more, whatever the case is? So that's where the power lies, because then the power is then back to you,
I think it's all about us. So, and that's why I like it. Like, acknowledge, take some time out, understand it, forgive yourself, and just communicate it. And that's it. And if you want, sum it all up with some meditation to relax and calm your body in. And we would love to invite you for next week on the Monday. We're going to do something on Clubhouse. So we're going to open our first room and we're going to do some cool stuff together. So you're more than welcome to join us. And we're going to see you either next week on our live. Have a lovely weekend.